Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you thought you knew everything about them? What if one day that person just disappeared? No explanations, no goodbyes, just gone. I'd like to tell you a story about love, loss, and the truth that came too late. This is the diary. Every morning, I woke up with the same feeling, a heavy weight pressed against my chest, and it's making me hard to breathe. Sometimes I would just stare at the ceiling and wondering just how much longer could I live like this? And then I would just answer to myself. I whispered, just one more day. And somehow it was enough to make me get up. I washed my face, I get dressed, I went to work, and then I went home, and I went to sleep. And I do it all over again. Every single day felt exactly the same for me. People said that life moved fast, but mine stopped years ago. And it stopped the day she disappeared. I met her back in college. I was a sophomore and she was a senior. And the first time I saw her, I completely lost my ability to speak. You know that staring is rude, right? She asked me. My face went completely red. Sorry, I stammered. I was only kidding. From that on, with that smile, I was completely hopelessly in love with her. She was kind and intelligent, and she had a way to make every single ordinary day felt special. But she had some things that are mysterious about her, and some things are stranger than the others. She would someday just disappear. No messages, no phone calls, just gone. Nothing. And then she would just come back as if nothing had happened. And then I would ask her, where were you? And then she would only reply to me with, just dealing with some things. And whenever I pressed further, she would just shook her head and say, it's really nothing you need to worry about. And because I love her so much, and I really do, I believe her. Years passed, we graduated, got jobs, and we eventually get married. At first, life felt perfect. It was perfectly fine. But the disappearances never stopped. One evening, I finally had the courage to confront her. I hold her hand and I said, please, tell me something. Let me help you. And it's the first time her smile faded. She looked away and said, some secrets are just harder to explain. And then I hold her hand tighter and I said, then explain them anyway. She would give me a sad smile and said, I wish I could. A week later, she disappeared. At first, I didn't give much thought about it. I mean, she had done this before and she would come back as if nothing had happened. But I was wrong. She didn't come back. Day turned to another one. Another day turned into a week. A week turned to a month. There was nothing about her. I would call her friends. I was asking, have you heard anything about her? And they'll all answer the same thing. No. I would contact her parents. Has she contacted you or anything? I was met with the same answer. No. I'm on my knees. I was begging to the police, please, my wife is missing. But months has passed. And there was no signs, no clues of her whereabouts. The only thing she had left me was a diary sitting on our living room table. And for years I never opened it. Every night I would sit across it and I would stare at its old worn cover. And I tried reaching for it, but then I stopped. I stopped as if like an invisible force is keeping me away from doing it. one day, one night, I finally picked it up. My hands trembled as I unraveled the first page, and the folded note slipped out and fell onto the table. My heart almost sank. It almost stopped when I saw her handwriting. I slowly picked up the unfolded paper, unfolded, and I was met with surprise. If you're reading this, then I'm gone. My throat tight inside. I couldn't breathe. I'm almost fainting. Please don't look for me anymore. I whispered, no. I really want to tell you everything. I really don't want to leave you, but I was afraid, she said. And tears ran down my face and it blurred my vision as I flipped pages and pages, pages by pages, and it revealed every single secret she had never told me. Every single secret behind those smiles, behind those laughs, and behind every memories we shared together. As I read, I realized something that is more hurtful than losing her. It was the fact that I thought I knew her, but all I knew was the version she led me to see. When the sun finally rose, I closed the last page of the book. I stared at an empty chair across from me. The truth that I'd been searching for years are finally in my hands, yet I don't feel relief. All I felt is just sharp, painful heartbreak. Shit. I would stare at the chair across me. It's the place where she should have had been, and I whispered, why didn't you tell me? That's the first time I learned that sometimes the most hurtful thing wasn't about losing someone, but rather is to realize how much of the stories I'm told. And sometimes the truth that I've been searching for years finally changed everything.